Hello fellow engineers and welcome to Storyteller. Oops, I just quit the game. So this is a storytelling puzzle game. I played the demo like a year ago and honestly it was one of my favorite games of last year. So basically we have characters down the bottom, we can drag them into each scene and we need to try and make a story that matches the title up the top. So Adam starts alone, there he is alone. He finds love, so we'll shove him in there, we'll shove Eve next to him. Look, they're in love. And then he dies happy, so we'll shove him on the grave, he died happy. But you can also drag different scenes onto here, so we can drag the love scene in. So therefore, when we add Adam and Eve to this, that's where they get married. And in this one, Eve dies heartbroken. So if we put the death one in now, we make Eve look at the gravestone and we put Adam's face on it. She is heartbroken, and then obviously she is going to die. And therefore, we have completed the title. And this one, we've got to make Seeing the Ghost of a Lover. So we'll start with the lovers first. They can go in there. And then the death of one of them. Which of you wants to die? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch an architect by its toe. If it bites, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny. Sorry, Adam. Boosh. So Adam is dead. So if we shove Eve there, she's pretty upset. I didn't actually need to put... No, I did. Did I need to put her there? I don't necessarily need to break her heart. If we go back to the love one and shove Eve in... Okay, so yeah, she does know that Adam is gone. I mean, I could break her heart twice. I mean, she probably deserved it, maybe. But look, now she sees the ghost because I've put Adam in, but he's already died earlier on. So the order of the story very much affects later on things as well. So that we're not repeating the ones I did in the demo, I've skipped forward a bit. We're on the Butlers Rampage. So we have a butler, we've got the Duke and Duchess, and then a gun and ballroom. So I guess we start with the gun scene. So there is a gun in there. If we shove the butler in, yes, he has picked up the gun. So now we can go into the ballroom, and the Duke's in there just minding his own business, but suddenly Butler comes in, boosh, straight in the heart. And then the Butler's going to go into the other ballroom to put the broken-hearted Duchess out of her misery. Nice.
It's definitely brutal, but someone's got to do it, right?
So Duke feels relief. Where? There must be a toilet scene somewhere. No, just a gun scene. Interesting. So we've only got the gun background this time. So what if the Duke takes the gun, and then the Butler takes the gun. Oh, wait. No, look. The Duke loves guns. Okay, got it. The Duke is American. So what we're going to do, we're going to make the Butler take the gun. And now there's no gun there. So when the Duke comes to see it, he's heartbroken. He's like, where's my gun? How can I be American with no guns? But then the Butler puts it back. And then the Duke goes and sees it. And he's like, ah, yes, there's my gun. Give it a nice stroke. Okay, so detective arrests murderer. So first off, we need a murderer. So Butler... No, it's not going to be the Butler. It's going to be the Duke. No, it's not going to be the Duke because he doesn't pick up the gun. I just remembered. He loves guns, but he won't ever shoot one. Not like the evil Butler. Yeah, one day I would actually love to own a Butler. Not a murdering Butler, just a normal Butler. So if you want to check out my merch store and support me, perhaps you can make my Butler dream come true. So in the ballroom, the Butler shoots the Duke. Does he have more than one bullet? So if we go into the ballroom, we shove the detective in there. He's thinking about the dead Duke. He's like, who did it? Who did it? And then he appears. Oh, cheeky. He's suspicious. Very suspicious. But we haven't quite caught him in the act. He is hiding the gun behind. So what if the detective investigates the missing gun? It's not really working. However, we could move that down to there, and then we could make the Butler put the gun back. Yes, because now the detective has found the fingerprints. And look, the detective is like, oh, it was the Butler. It was definitely the Butler. Perhaps the ghost of the Duke can tell him it's the Butler as well. So then detective is going to arrest the Butler. Nice. I'm glad that the ghost Duke told us, even though they probably didn't have to. Always important to have witnesses in these cases. This time, we're arresting someone innocent, so I guess we need to frame someone. So, start off with the gun. Who's gonna do the murdering? It's probably gonna have to be the Butler, because, yeah, she's not interested in the gun. So, Butler has gun. Then, in the ballroom, the Duchess is just hanging out, mind her own business. Then, boosh, right in the hip. That's gotta hurt. Then, Butler puts the gun back, but then... the Duke comes and touches the gun. Look, he's given it a little stroke there, which means his prints are on it. So that when the detective investigates, look, they find the Duke's fingerprints. And then heartbroken Duke, you've now been framed as well. Oh, that's so mean. It's so mean. So that was all of chapter 6 completed. We'll go on to chapter 7. And in this one, we've got to make 4 deaths. We have a revive thing. So we'll probably start with the cliff. And then we've got the Baron and the Knight. Is the Baron bad? I assume the Baron's bad. So there's 2 places we can go up here. So if I shove the Baron there and the Knight there. Wow, yeah, the Baron does not like the Knight. So he's off the cliff. He's probably dead. So then can we revive him? So he's been revived. He's back on the cliff. He's off again. Baron is slightly perplexed this time.
Oh my god, what is happening?
He gets revived again. And then on the cliff, is the Knight going to be mad? Yes, the Knight is mad. So we've pushed him off. However, the Baron is going to have the last laugh because whilst the Knight is up there, he's like, oh no, I've just murdered someone. The Baron's ghost comes back and shoves him off. Yes, that's so cool. All right, so in this one, the Queen marries. So we have the wedding thing. Let's just see, is the Queen interested in anyone? She's thinking about love. So does she love the Baron? No. Go away, Mr. Baron. I'm not interested in you. How about the Knight? Oh no, the Knight's heartbroken. Okay. Perhaps then we need to impress her somehow. So if we just move her to the end, I'm pretty sure we can get her to marry someone if she starts off kidnapped by the Baron. So she's pretty worried. So you can see she's up in the air there, not looking impressed. But then the Knight comes and lowers her down. He's like, wait, it was the Baron. He's got a big beard. You can't trust a man with a big beard. Wait, I have a big beard. Ignore that. And then she is in love with the Knight. They get married. The Knight is now the king. All right, so this one is called Everyone Sits on the Throne. So if we have the throne, the Queen can sit on it. Job's a good one. But then she goes for a nice evening walk on top of a cliff. Baron pushes her off. And you'd think then the Baron would go sit on there. But no, he's not next in line. It's actually the Knight. So the Knight is the king. He's not sure if he wants to be. He misses the Queen. But then he finds himself on top of a cliff and the Baron pushes him off. So then the throne room is empty. So the Baron can go in there. He is now the king. But that's not the end of our story. No. Because Baron goes for an evening walk where the Queen finally gets her revenge. Man, her face is actually terrifying as a ghost. All right, so in this one, we're going to have to try and get the Queen interested in the Baron. Because she needs to marry someone, but he is the only suitor. There's no one else that could possibly take the role. So what are we going to have to do here? I can see our background options. We've got the kidnap again. We also have disguise. So with the disguise one, we can make the Baron dress up as a croc. So I feel like the obvious thing to do would be, Queen, you've been kidnapped by the croc. Baron takes off his croc outfit, saves the Queen. They get married, but there is a less obvious solution, which is sort of like a bonus quest. So the Queen marries a fearsome dragon. So essentially, if we put the Queen in there and the Baron kidnaps her, then the Baron can put his disguise on, the crocodile can save the Queen, and then the Queen is so impressed that she marries a crocodile just for saving her life. Yeah, but then he takes off his outfit to reveal he is the king, and then returns to his wedding where the Queen finds out and she is not happy, but they're married. Life lesson, if you're going to marry someone, find out everything about them first. Make sure they're not wearing a crocodile disguise. Anyway, in this one, we're back with the detective, the Duke, and the butler. But we've got a witness. So what does that do? Oh, it puts someone behind the painting. So they can see what's going on. Okay. Because, yeah, in the ballroom, there is a painting in the background. Okay, well, let's start with the gun. Butler takes the gun. The detective is the witness, so we don't need evidence this time. No fingerprints required. Look at the eyes poking out. So, Butler's in there. Look at the eyes. They are surprised. And then the Duke walks in. Boosh. However, Butler, you are under arrest. All right, Butler gets fired. Does he mean fired, like, with a gun? Or fired from his job? Maybe that's why I want a butler, so I can fire them. All right, so let's pretend merch store's gone really well. I've made millions selling engineer pun t-shirts. Now, I'm now a Duke. So I guess to start with, we show our love for our weapon collection. Right, so I love my gun. That's clear. I shout to the butler. I'm like, Jeeves, I'm heading out to the shops. Look after the place. Don't touch my gun. I love my gun. But then I sneak into the walls to look through my painting. Meanwhile, the butler's like, oh, finally he's gone out. I can go grab his gun now. I love his gun. And then I'm just peering into the ballroom as the butler walks in with my gun, slinging it around like he owns the place. I'm not happy. Anyway, Butler returns the gun just before I get home. And then I go into the ballroom where I'm like, oi, Jeeves, come in here. I've got a bone to pick with you. You're fired. You touched my gun. Don't touch my stuff. All right, so now spouse gets vengeance. So I assume the butler's got to take the gun. Old Duchess is hiding in the walls. She's like, oi, oi, what's my husband up to? He's not going to cheat on me with the butler, is he? Boosh! The butler penetrated us another way with a bullet. Butler thought he was alone, though, so he puts the gun back. And then in the ballroom, the Duchess, she's heartbroken. And basically, this is a John Wick story. So before she does that, she heads into the gun lab. She picks up the gun. And then as the butler walks in, boosh, revenge. So this next level, a Serpa Dies. Usurper. What the hell does that mean? Hey, Google, what does usurper mean?
According to Wikipedia, a usurper is an illegitimate or controversial claimant to power, often but not always in a monarchy.
Okay, got it. So someone isn't in line to be the king. So what if we start with the old kidnapping story? So you've been kidnapped, and then the throne room is empty. So that means the Baron can just come in and take the king. If no one else is going to take it, he may as well have it. But then the knight saves the king and is just like, wait, the Baron's not actually the king. So into the throne room, the queen is like, oh my goodness, the Baron's nicked my crown. But she can't have him executed because he's got the crown. Okay. But then I guess what we could do, we could have the knight free the queen. And then the queen kidnap the Baron. So now she gets the crown back. And then in the execution one, if we shove her on the throne, we can then execute... Oh, I thought we could execute the knight just randomly. Don't die. But Baron, you're doomed. But there is another way to complete this story. The usurper dies by the hand of the knight. So essentially, we've just got to sort of recreate this, but in the way that the knight becomes the king. So I think I can probably just... Let's tell the knight to free her, because then we have a free cage. And then the knight can put the Baron into prison. No, he did it for revenge. For the queen. So then in the throne room, the knight can go in there. Oh no, he won't do it. He won't pick it up. He knows it's not for him. Ah, I've got it. I've got it. Rather than the knight freeing the queen, if we just get rid of that story there, we can actually say the Baron, which is the king at this point in the story, beheads the queen. So now when he kidnaps the Baron, he can actually take the crown because the queen is dead. Long live the queen. Which means he can then get his revenge by executing the Baron. And then we've completed the bonus way. Nice. Oh, that was actually really cool. All right, so in this one, we have all the scenes. We've got 5 different scenes going on. The main aim is knight loses his head. So how can we make the knight misbehave? Because if we try and kidnap the queen, you'll see the knight, he won't do it. He's like, don't worry, queen, I got your back, with a little thumbs up. And if we just try and do the obvious, if we make the queen in charge, say, behead the knight. No, she likes the knight. He's done nothing wrong. So we need to try and use these to do something wrong. How about death? The queen starts dead, which means the knight, although he's heartbroken, he is now the king. But then we revive the queen. She is back alive now. And then is she going to be mad enough to kidnap the... Yeah, she is. She wants her crown back. So she's not happy with the knight. She's taken the crown off him, which means once she goes and gets her crown, she will happily behead the knight like that. Decent. All right, so this one, oh, we have something called Amnesia. So does that, like, remove all memory? Okay, we need to make the Baron do something wrong, like kidnap the queen. So I guess now we can, like, give him amnesia so he forgets that he did it, right? So when he goes back, he sees that the queen is kidnapped. He lets her down. He's like, yes, I'm going to be the king because I saved the queen. But she is not forgotten. Oh, no. So he thinks he's just saved her, but really, he's just killed himself. So we did the execution of the Baron, which was one of the bonuses. We now need to try and get the queen executed. So what if I wipe both of their memories? They have no recollection, which means she's still in the cage. And when Baron comes, they then get married so that the Baron becomes the king. And then I just need him to execute the queen. Will he do it? Oh, he did it. Okay, Baron has no morals. He will just execute anyone. I honestly thought he wouldn't behead his wife. I thought he was in love, but obviously not. Nice. Decent. So yeah, that was a bit of Storyteller. If you want to see more of this, I'd love to play some more. So push the like button and let me know in the comments if you want to see more. How many chapters are there? 10, 11, so 12, 13 chapters. So we can definitely do another video of all new content. But for now, I'll say peace, love, and treason. Bye, guys.